Welcome back to Straight Facts. I'm joined by Lee Gunner. It's Tuesday afternoon. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the Terrace right about now. Lots to delve into today. But first, Lee, Mr. Gunner, how are you? How are you?
I'm good, Tel. I didn't think we'd be doing the show today. I thought you would have been scared.
Is it windy where you are?
No, can you hear it? It's my fan, so my mic don't overheat. Can you hear it?
Yes. It sounds like you're in. It sounds like you're outside.
Does it really sound that bad? Oh, hold on. Maybe I ain't got my mic plugged in properly. Hold on.
Maybe. But viewers, yes, hit the like and the share button. Lots to talk about on the... Sorry, mate, go on.
It was on my Mac mic, not my Rory
mic. There we go. That's why. There we go. That's perfect. Now, there we go. Make sure you're hitting it. And no, I am not too scared. I am still. We'll get onto Arsenal later, but I am still scared of Arsenal. I'm not. Nothing's changed. And we're going to get on why nothing's changed. And people are still... I've got a few Zooms in my comments who are consistently like, you got to apologise to Gary Neville. I'll be telling you later. I'll be talking about my apology to Gary Neville a little bit later on the show. We'll be touching on the weekend games and Arsenal's title race ending and much, much more on the show. Lee wants Arteta sacked. We'll get onto that later. I'm sure it'll get heated. But I want to first start with, when you predicted a Man United defeat at the weekend to Wolves, we beat them, but Liverpool won again last night. Do you think it's going to be United or Newcastle that crumble under this pressure, or will they both see it through to the end now? Now the weekend's gone. Newcastle dropped points to Leeds. United won. Liverpool won. How do you see it ending up, mate?
I think it's going to the last probably kick of the season, because Liverpool are purring at the minute, man. They're scoring goals. They're playing well, and they're looking good, man. They're looking really good. They scored some good goals last night as well. Trent's shot was a quality finish. The second goal from Curtis Jones was class as well. And he's played well recently. Like, he won't get a lot of credit because he's Curtis Jones, but he's been really good in the last 5-6 games. And Man United needed that win, man. They needed that, because if they didn't win that game, wow, then that red shark, not the little blue shark, the red shark would have been catching the other red shark or the red dolphin, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. I think Newcastle... I think they'll see it through. I think it's Man United that's the one that could potentially drop out. But listen, if Liverpool get it, they deserve it, mate. It's as simple as that. Whoever gets in there, deserves to be there. Newcastle, it'd be mad if they didn't end up getting there when they've been sat fourth, second for a lot of the season at the beginning as well. They got to the cup final. Obviously, that didn't go to plan, But yeah, man, listen, if they get Champions League football, I'm sure their fans will be happy. They've come from 19th under Steve Bruce to flying all the way up to third 18 months later. Are they in phase 3, Tel, or are they in phase 4? Maybe they're still in phase 2.
I don't know the phases. I
think it will go all the way. I honestly think it'll go all the way. The thing for Man United is your home form is decent. Yeah, and the reason I tipped you to lose to Wolves is you ain't got a great record against Wolves. Yeah, but... you deserve to beat Wolves at the weekend. Let's just be real with it. But I don't know, man. Now, if you look at Liverpool's last 2 games, pretty straightforward, standard wins for me.
Yeah, I look at it this way. I think Liverpool will deserve it if they get it. I think it's mad that people are writing Liverpool off for next year. When you make predictions about next season now, the summer window is imperative. So I don't think it's plausible to say they will or they won't challenge until we see who comes in. But I believe they'll have a good summer this year, Liverpool. I just cannot imagine them signing one good player and going, that's all, folks. But the next 2 games for Man United and Newcastle, I think, determine what happens, because Newcastle at home to Brighton Thursday night. They win that game, I think they'll be okay. They lose it, and I believe Liverpool will catch them. Same as Man United versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth are now on the beach. They've won the game. Man United are the ones that should be playing with the intensity. We go away to Bournemouth and win. I believe we'll get top 4, because I don't see us losing both or drawing both of our last 2 games at home to Chelsea, that can't beat anybody right now, and Fulham that are good. But again, Fulham are just now playing for pretty much nothing. So the next two games, but the next game, sorry, each game for Newcastle and United is where I think it's going to be pivotal, irrespective of what Liverpool do. If either team drop points, though, in those games, I think Liverpool would definitely take a place then because they're in cruise control now. Trent's moved into that midfield inverted fullback role. The team, they're still conceding some chances, but they don't look for me half as vulnerable as they did 2 months ago. And the front line is now starting to click. Mo Salah back to his very best. You know, I mean, this is a bad season for him. And I think he's got, 28 GA in the Premier League, one of the highest goal contributors in European football. And the team's not been very good. So, he's ending the season very, very strongly. And no, listen, would I be surprised if Liverpool grab it? No. I just hope it isn't Man United that fall out. No disrespect to Newcastle. I'm a Man United fan. It needs to be us. We need to get it. It's really important for our kind of rebuild and the sort of direction that we continue to go in. Strasbourg Steve, who's a Newcastle fan here, says, I'm still saying we get top 4. Been saying it since October. I stand by it. We have plenty of match winners. Just got to take our chances. Yeah, I mean, if Liverpool do make it, you would go with Man United or Newcastle to miss out?
Who's Newcastle's last 2 games?
Last day of the season, they've got Chelsea. I know that.
Be 3 points.
Yeah.
I'm just looking now. They got Brighton, and then they've got Leicester, and then they've got Chelsea. They're 1 point ahead of Liverpool with a game in hand.
So the game in hand, Brighton.
They don't need to win all 3 of them, then, really, do they? Let's be real. So
they're the same as Man United. They need 2 wins.
I think Man United fans ain't gonna like me, mate. But I think Man United would drop out if it's Liverpool that get in there. Yeah, because I think you've obviously got the cup final. You've got Fulham last day of the season. You've also got Chelsea as well, and you've got Bournemouth away. Your away form shocking. I'd say I'd have to go with Man United dropping out. If Liverpool did get there, I think it'd be United.
Yeah. If you're going to pick one of them to drop out, Man United, and for me, I'm just going to be very biased. I'm just saying it'll be Newcastle. I'm not even putting it into the
How toxic and negative, Terrace.
Yeah, for me,
Top Reds will be on your case in a minute, mate. Like, if you can't see what Ten Hag's doing, mate, you can F off down to Salford.
Yeah, no, I actually think, listen, our away record isn't. I mean, this is what's mad. Our away record isn't great, but it's still the 5th best in the league, right? Which is crazy. And barring the West Ham game, our away form against the relegation fodder and everybody has been pretty good. I think we beat Bournemouth. I know they'll be more relaxed because they've got nothing to play for. I also think they'll let go now. We've sort of seen that with a few teams in the last few days. So I think a lot of people said Wolves will be more relaxed and they'll body us. They didn't get near us. They had more of the ball, but it was all in their own half. They did nothing to us in that game. I think we'll beat Bournemouth, and if we beat them, I'm 95% sure we'll win one of our last 2 games and secure it. But what a last sort of gasp run from Liverpool, and what it does do for Liverpool is I think when they're talking to their new signings in the summer, they can say, look, no Champions League, but look at our trajectory at the end of the campaign. With you joining us, we're going to be minimum in the top 4 race, if not in the title race again next year. And I do think a lot of people are doubting Liverpool, but I wouldn't. I can't doubt Liverpool going into next season. I want to, but the way they're ending it, with Trent in this new role, 2 or 3 quality signings, they're back in the race again next year for me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Well, listen, it's hard to predict. Yeah, it is hard to predict because if you look how many players they've got over the age of 32, 33, even over the age of 30, they've got a lot of players they've got to get out of there, mate. Like, I mean, James Milner's going now, but Van Dijk is not the Van Dijk he used to be. Konate's looked good. He's looked like a good signing. But they need a whole midfield rebuild, mate. How many of their midfielders should be there next season? For me, none of them. Yeah, Thiago, as good as he is never fit enough to play a full season or even half. Yeah, Oxlade-Chamberlain shouldn't be there. Fabinho's not good enough. Henderson's got to go now. Like, if you want to kick on, he's been a good player for them. Yeah, but you got to get rid. Yeah, Naby Keita has wanted to leave since he got there. Yeah, Artemello's leaving anyway. Like, it's true though, isn't it? Like, their whole midfield, apart from Curtis Jones, that whole midfield and Harvey Elliott, apart from them 2, they should be getting rid of the whole midfield. But they won't, because this is Liverpool and they ain't got bags full of money. Yeah, and they're not going to go out there and and sign 3 or 4 midfielders in the summer. So they're still going to have Henderson there or Fabinho or both. You know, can't rely on Harvey Elliott for a season. Can't rely on Carvalho for a season. Can't rely on Thiago for. They'll still have half of that squad there next season, mate. At least, yeah, in the midfield. I mean, yeah, and they'll go out there. They maybe get Mason Mount. Or they might get Conor Gallagher or somebody like that. They're not going to be shopping in the top tier. So for me, I don't know if they. I haven't seen them in a title race next season. Yeah, I may be wrong. They might go out there and shop everyone, but...
You're right. If they do what you've just said, that's why this time of the year is very. Everything's very open-ended. If they don't get rid of enough players and they don't buy enough, I agree with you. If they do what they're meant to do, they clear out the majority of the players you've mentioned and bring in 4, 5, 6 new players and their quality and they hit the ground running. I think they can be dangerous. We'll come to some of the super chats that are off subject, and we'll come to them a little bit later in the show. Please make sure you're hitting like and you're hitting share buttons. You actually said, you messaged me earlier though, and you said you wanted to speak about Poch.
Yeah.
So I want to, again, and I have no idea what you're about to say here. What do you want to say about Poch?
Well, Tottenham fans are in bits first and foremost. Yeah.
They're crying.
Oh, they're in tears, mate. Their club legend has left to go to Chelsea.
You know what it's like? You know what it reminds me of? Honestly, it's not all Spurs fans. I won't categorize it as all. We've probably had 2 or 3. There's a guy called Alex. He calls himself Mr. Box Office that comes on our shows. And I would say for 3 years running, this man has been pining for his ex. You know, you've got one of them. You must have had a mate in the past who, you know, breaks up with his ex. And every time you go to the pub, to the club, you're in the gym, smoking, starts crying. And even I had a friend who did this. His name was, I'm not going to say his name on the internet. He even started dating, even the new girls.
Terry, it was you.
No, legit. Even the new girls he started dating, I swear on my life, look like his ex. And I think some Spurs fans are so gutted, so heartbroken that a man they are genuinely, deeply, unconditionally in love with has just joined one of their bitter rivals. They are feeling hella serious pain right now.
That's mad. I think it's hilarious. But he ain't going to do nothing at Chelsea, mate. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because he ain't going to do nothing at Chelsea. Yeah, because the person who's in control at Chelsea is the owner. Yeah, he'll get involved. He'll be there. He'll be predicting 3-0 wins against big teams and stuff like that. Like Real Madrid. We're going to win 3-0, man. Yeah, okay, mate. That went well. I only said that Real Madrid so that lad Paul can like the video. He said, if you mention Madrid, I'll like the video.
Yes, one of my options is, have you liked the video yet? And one of them is, I will like the video when Lee Gunner says Real Madrid.
There you go. Tick. Well, we'll talk about the stadium in a bit. You can tick that one off of the Lee Gunner bingo as well. Yeah, do you know what I mean? But I don't think he'll do nothing. Like he's got a mammoth job on his hands, mate. And I don't think he's the right type of manager to go in there and turn it around. Like, the football will get a little bit prettier, but then maybe it won't. Like, everyone thought that with Potter. You know, the football was pretty crap under Potter, wasn't it? Let's be real. So everyone's saying, oh, yeah, well, it would be good football. Okay, they might lose less games. But they've still got to get rid of at least 12 players, at least. Yeah, and they've got to try and do all of that whilst going on pre-season tour, whilst trying to get a style of play, and you don't know which ones are going at what time. So some of them will be on the tour, some of them would have already gone, whatever. Then you've got to try and get your other players in. You've got to try and integrate them into the team. They ain't got enough time, mate. Yeah, for that to work, yeah, and for them to actually challenge for titles and trophies next season, no, he should have got the job. If they were going to employ him, he should have got the job as soon as Potter went. Yeah, because that way you've got that extra bit from when Potter was sacked to now to identify which ones are weak, which ones ain't going to be in next season, etc., etc. Yeah, and then you can identify which players you want to bring in. Maybe he's already done that. But you've then got to try and get hold of the players, get hold of the agents, speak to the club. Ain't got enough time, mate. Yeah, because that season ends. When's he actually officially starting in the role? Next month?
Well, he's not been officially even announced yet, but yes, it'll probably what you'll probably find is as soon as the season ends, he comes straight in. So that'll be early mid June.
Well,
yeah.
the contracts for footballers are normally 30th of June. They go into another year, isn't it? Like, so the 1st of July, at midnight on the 30th of June, the player's normally out of that year of his contract, and 1st of July goes into the next. I'd imagine that's the same with managers. Yeah, so I'd imagine Lampard's contract's till 30th of June. So if it's till the 30th of June, what, is he going in there on the 1st of July?
Well, I
and
think
the season starts in 6 weeks later. Like, come
yeah,
on, mate.
no, I get but if you look at what Ten Hag did, Ten Hag didn't officially start as the Man United manager until the 1st of July, but he was already he started work the day after the season ended. He was still officially the Ajax manager, but there was basically a condition between the two clubs. He went and started work straight away. I believe Poch has already started work. I believe he's already working on who he wants out, who wants to come in. I get where you're coming from. I look at Poch this way. I think Poch can be a success at Chelsea to a point. And I say that because I'm unconvinced that he has the mindset as a manager to win the biggest trophies, irrespective if they're well run or not. Let's just paint a picture that they become the best run club in England. Hypothetically, I still don't know if Poch has got the minerals, the whereabouts, and the bottle as a manager to get a team over the line. And that's just how I felt about him for a while. And when he was linked to Man United, I said that I think we'll play better football. I think he'll improve a lot of youngsters. I think that he'll there'll be a lot of hype around us, but I was unconvinced whether he could win us the major trophies. And by the way, I also said the same thing about Ten Hag. There is no proof that he can win the biggest leagues out there because he hasn't done it yet. So it's all theory as opposed to reality. However, it's all about, as you say, where you're right, it's all about what they do. They need to clear out 10 to 15 players, as I've said on a number of occasions. But Chelsea fans have also got to temper themselves. Now, I know you see the world differently in terms of standards have got to be up here from day one. But Chelsea can't go from where they are now to winning a league title next season or challenging with any manager in the world. If Pep left City and joined Chelsea this summer, he couldn't make them challenge for a title in 1 year.
Hold on. It has been done before, by the way. They've done it from 10th to 1st.
Okay, but they weren't in the but what you're missing out, Lee, is you're missing out the fact they didn't have a squad of 30-odd players. They had a different owner and a different group of people running the club that had success before. So Chelsea are not that same Chelsea anymore. It's a completely new ownership with a completely different set of problems. So
well, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah. I was just pointing out and highlighting.
No. It has been done before, but I don't think any manager could take over this Chelsea now in the summer. Pep Guardiola with Klopp as his assistant and make him league title contenders.
I don't think anyone wanted the job. That's why.
Well, maybe it. But
let's be real. Nobody wanted it.
It's going to take Chelsea 2 to 3 seasons to be able to compete for a Premier League. However, I do believe if they spend what they're saying they're going to spend again this summer, they're talking about a world-class midfielder. They're talking about Osherman coming in up front and clearing out the dead wood. He has to get them into the top 4 because you can't have a squad that
has to win them something. He has to win them.
Yeah, I think he may have to. Again, let's see who they get in the draws. Let's see who they play. Let's see how they do. But he's got a challenge next year in terms of challenge for the top 4. And I think he's got to be highly competitive year 1 at the very least. You know, he's got to be given at least that year from where they are. But I'm with you. Overall, I don't believe Poch is the guy to win the major trophies. If he proves me wrong, I'll hold my hand up and say fair play. But there's just something about him that's Spursy. There's something about him which is just, can he really get over the line when it really matters? And I'm just not personally convinced. No. There we go. But a few people are asking, that is the real Igao in the comment section, by the way. I checked and I just made him a moderator. I didn't know he wasn't. And all my main people are moderators on my channel. Although Lee's not a moderator on my channel, but
disgusting behavior, so toxic.
I'll have to do that. I see you're a moderator on. I was watching some of the Big Six last night, and I saw that you were.
Oh, I rattle so many people in that chat. It's hilarious, mate. Yeah, it's like the amount of times I go in there and just put stuff in there, and then everyone starts crying in the comments. I'm like, why are you crying about my comment? Why don't you watch the 6 people on the screen, mate? That's why you're there. Like, you're not there to cry about me. He was there to watch the 6 people or the 5 people, whatever it may be.
I've had people in my comment section recently. One guy said yesterday that I called him out for something that he said that wasn't true. He keeps telling people that we block his account. And the irony is, well, if you were blocked, nobody would see your comment saying that you were blocked. Don't make any sense, right? And he started telling me that the Terrace is only the Terrace because of him. I'm like, bro, I don't know who you are. I've never met you. Like, I inspired you. Like, some people write some weird stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're a good guy normally. But
like, I went to school with Terry. No, you didn't. Like, stuff like that. I get that in my chat a lot. I went to school with you, mate. No, you didn't.
But there's one guy
that just wanted to reply to him. That's all it is.
There's 2 guys that comment on my channel. A guy called Marvin I went to school with, and a guy called Dean, who's actually a streamer himself, a gamer. Like, I know who they both are, and I went to school with them. But some people say things to me. Someone in the comments were like, "Oh, Terry, I met you at this sales conference once in so and so," and I'm like, I've never been there in my life. I didn't know how to respond to it. It's very strange.
They just want to reply, mate.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Listen, I love my viewers and I respect my viewers. My only caveat is very much like, don't sit in the comments and lie. Don't, like, this one guy the other day was leaving comments and he says, Terry always deletes my comments. So I didn't delete them and they're never gone. I'm like, you're deleting your own comments and then you're telling people that I'm deleting them. He's like, you didn't like me calling you out. I went, but loads of people in that video called me out. And even between me or the TFT admins, we responded. Very strange. But anyway, there's a super chat here that says, big up Lee and Terry. Just saw Lee's video and it's brutal how other teams in other countries really hold managers to the sword. And we'll come to that a little bit later when we get on to get on to Arsenal. But yeah, they certainly do. Lee, did you catch a glimpse of the Barca parade and what do you think Barca are in?
Barcelona fans actually want him sacked, and that ain't even a joke. There's a lot of Barcelona fans that want him sacked because his European record is shocking. Yeah, and he's won the league. He's qualified for Champions League. Fair play to him. He's been there less time than Arteta, by the way. He's competing with Real Madrid, the team we smashed the stadium down for. Gosh, League on a bingo. But if he drops out the Champions League next season after qualifying for it, and they go down to Europa or get knocked out and finish totally outside, he's getting sacked. That's it. Yeah, and we'll come to standards in a minute. Yeah, because Arsenal's on the floor, but I did see a little bit of it. I'm not sure what phase they're in, but it's mad how a club that was on the verge of bankruptcy, that couldn't register players, has actually won against Real Madrid, who have won 6 trophies in the last 2 seasons and on course for a 7th. Mad, isn't it?
It's how you run. And I remember listening to somebody talk about Barcelona in the summer. It was on a podcast. I can't remember who it was now. They were talking about the influence. He barely gets to mention that Johan Cruyff has been so influential in this turnaround. The advantage Barca had, though, is that they hadn't been sitting in the doldrums for ages. And on the Chelsea talk about Poch, that's why if they keep the Yanks and the non-footballing people away from football, give Poch and the football people, and they've hired some really good people that have great CVs from the football world. Let them run the football element, and Chelsea can turn this round in a season or two. It's a different league here that we've got. I think we've got more teams at a higher level of competitiveness than in Spain, and financially, the way they compete, no one competes financially in Spain with Barca and Real Madrid. Even when they're poor, they're still richer than everybody else. But Chelsea can turn this round quickly. The problem is if it goes into 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, 5, it becomes a much bigger problem. If Barcelona would have, been finishing mid-table for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they never would jump from that straight back to winning. They've turned it around quickly. They did the right thing and they got themselves back on track. Did a great job. Although they're still not at their best because Man United ain't at our best. And I feel over the 2 legs, we outclassed them. So there is still.
That's why they want him sacked, because he was in the Champions League. He got put in the Europa League, and then he got battered in the Europa League. Yeah, and it's the same with both of them clubs. Real Madrid fans want Ancelotti sacked, and he's won all 6 trophies you can possibly win in 2 seasons. But the reason they want him sacked is they've let Barcelona walk off with a title. Yeah, and Barcelona want their manager sacked because Real Madrid could be on course to win a 15th.
Question for you. Question for you. So it's related to this super chat. This super chat here says, big up Terry and Lee. Terry on Sunday will be only 11 leagues behind you. Blue Shark coming. And yes, you are. And if you keep on winning at the rate you're winning, you'll in about 12, 13 years, you'll catch us. But on this sacking managers thing, we're not talking Arsenal right now. We're talking City. If City don't win the league next year, I'm not saying you'll say sack Pep. But if City fans turned around and said, I want him sacked because we've let Man United win a league title, would you say it's justified in the same way you do with Barca and Real Madrid?
Man United win the title, you said, yeah?
Yeah, because Barca winning it is I believe Barca are Real Madrid's biggest rival. So
yeah, they are.
I believe Man United is City's biggest rival. If we won the league next year...
Who do City fans in the chat actually think are their biggest rivals? That's probably the better way to put it, because then we could go down that route rather than you thinking Man United are.
It's got to be Man United. Locally, we're the biggest. And if we're challenging the title, it's got to be Man United. Someone said
to be honest, yeah, I could see a reason why they'd want him if that happened. I could. However, He has won, 5 out of the last 6. He's won, 5 League Cups, 5 League Cups, I think it is. Champions League, he could potentially win this season. So I think that similar to Klopp at Liverpool, I think there's enough credit in that bank to say you've got one more season. But if you don't do nothing this season, you're gone, mate. Yeah, because that's how it should be. Like, at the end of the day, it's not a care home. Yeah, it's not, it's an elite level football club.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, sorry, I'll give an example. If you work at McDonald's drive-through, yeah, I know you never will, but some people do. My mum's worked there. Yeah, my mum said she loved working at McDonald's. Best job she ever had years and years ago. Right, but anyway, I digress. If you work in McDonald's drive-through and the queue is all the way a mile down the road, yeah, and then they tell you, like, come on, you can't be, you need to speed up a little bit here, yeah, and then it's all the way down the road the next day, and they take you off of there and put you on the tills in the McDonald's itself, inside the restaurant, yeah. But your queue's out the door. Eventually, you're getting sacked for somebody who's more competent and can actually achieve what they want.
Yes.
Yeah, but the standards have to come from the very, very top, i.e., the ownership, or they have to come from the fan base, and that is the problem with most clubs in England. Most clubs. And when I say most, that's the majority. The majority of football clubs in England don't have them standards from either one or the other or both. Yeah, whereas in other countries, we've all seen the clip that's doing the rounds of the AC Milan players and managers stand there like that to the ultras. Yes, okay, we're sorry. Can you imagine that in England? Our ultras are Don Robbie telling everyone that the Carabao Cup's not a trophy. Okay, mate, well, why was you at the final then? Like, why? What, you're not going to do any streams next season for the League Cup? Cool, I'm here for it, mate. So I've got the receipts. They're they're online. Yeah, and that's the difference. In these other countries, these fans do not muck about, mate. Yeah, they hold their club accountable. The reason AC Milan Ultras did that the other day is because they lost to a team that were right down the bottom, and that's potentially cost them getting back into the Champions League next season. Yeah, whilst they're already in a semi-final and losing.
Bro,
yeah?
I think
so. It's like, well, hang on a minute. We had a chance to win the Champions League. We had a chance to be back in it if we didn't win it, which isn't the standard for Milan, because the standard was winning the league last season, yeah? And they're already angry anyway that they're not challenged or anywhere near Napoli this season. So they're already bubbling under. And the difference is, when I've been to Newcastle away, yeah? No, sorry, not Newcastle. Anfield away. It was Anfield away. We got absolutely battered. The players just walked straight down the tunnel. That wouldn't happen in Italy because the fans would be on the pitch chasing them. Yeah, we see the Espanyol fans chasing Barcelona off the pitch, celebrating on their pitch the other day. Their ultras run on the pitch and chasing down the tunnel.
Yeah,
like you see Real Madrid do stuff. You see Sporting Lisbon break into training grounds and go and kick off on the players for missing out on Champions League. Like, only in England you get this soft mentality. And the reason it's like that is because these clubs have very quickly learned that, number one, it's the most watched league in the world. All eyes are on it. Global fan base for our clubs. There's probably only 3 or 4 clubs on the planet that have bigger global fan bases than the clubs in England. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. After that, I'm kind of struggling to see who's got a bigger global fan base. Yeah. Then it's all Premier League, yeah? Let's be real, right? So these clubs know they've got the most eyes on them. They know they can get fans from everywhere. They can peddle out PR. They can get ex-players in the pocket. They can get journalists in the pocket. They can get super fans in the pocket. Yeah, they can pay people online to tweet crap all day, which I'm adamant they do that. It came out PSG are doing it. And if they're doing it, Arsenal are definitely doing it. Yeah. So when you add all of that together, yeah, so easy to break down people with PR. We spent 2 years in our houses, mate.
Do you know what, mate? I wanted to say on the Pep thing, because that was the first question. Look, you know my take on things. You have to, when you want someone sacked, you have to review things. Pep's a different case and scenario to me because he's the best manager in the world. And in my opinion, even if he has a bad year, maybe 2, you're still not bringing in anybody that's as good as him. So you're in a very different scenario there. Plus, he's got a lot of credit in the bank. Sometimes I think clubs sack managers a little too... I think even if you went through Real Madrid's history and asked their fans to be honest, they'd probably go, yeah, you know, we probably should have given Pellegrini 75% win ratio year 1, didn't win anything, sacked. Maybe they should give him another year. Maybe anything. No, I understand. What I'm saying is, if you sat down and spoke to Real Madrid fans, they'd probably look back and go, actually, these 2 or 3 managers, maybe we should.
I'll tell you right now.
Let me Well, you say that, but there's already been a super chat that's come in saying Madrid fan here. We love Carlo. Spanish media lies. So what I'm saying to you is this:
No.
I'm saying there are probably some that regret that turn around and that maybe regret these things because everybody in life has had a knee-jerk reaction and made mistakes. But I also agree with you in the sense that standards have to be high. And in England, we make too many excuses. And for me, you mentioned Don Robbie. Now, I know you've got a very different feeling towards Robbie. I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect and a lot of love for that guy. Things he's helped me with, what he's done and achieved. However, if I'm not talking anything personal, I'm talking what he said the other day about Arsenal Football Club are beyond the League Cup. I just think it's disrespectful to his own football club. And I don't think he believes it. It was a weird deflection technique to go, well, with like, who are United, Man United? Even forget Man United Football Club. Why is Rio talking about Arsenal and all his club have done is won a Carabao Cup? For me, the reason that's strange is because this guy owns DR Sports, which is a channel that is about rivals talking to rivals about each team. If we use the logic that no one can speak to Arsenal, who hasn't finished above them in the league this year, Arsenal Football Club should have been silent for the past 3 or 4 years. They shouldn't have been talking about any type of football, and that's why I didn't like it. For me,
it's not just that for me, Terry. Yeah, for me, it's gassing up everything, getting paid actors on there. Yeah, that don't believe what they're saying. It's all about
who's the paid actor? Who's the paid actor on AFTV?
Mate, if you watch that channel, they all working there for free. What, they Samaritans?
Yeah, I mean they pay fans.
Come on, they're not working for free, Tel.
Yeah, but you get paid to do certain work. You're not an actor.
No. Well, hold on. Slow down, yeah? Right, slow down 1 second, right? There is people on that channel. I'm not going to name them, but the only two that I even entertain watching are Dan Potts and Turkish. That's it. Yardman, big up to him. And I want to say this right now because you've got a big platform, Terry, yeah? The way that he kept talking over him. If somebody sent me the video, I don't watch it. I don't watch that channel. Yeah, I very rarely watch Dan and Turkish, and I love them both. Yeah, I very rarely watch it because it's all the same. It's all the same. They're all jockeying for position. They're all trying to get into the next Edu press conference or the next Arteta press conference or I want to get on a watch along and this out. The size of that hornet at my door. Jesus Christ!
That's me.
Right? But my point. And now it's in my fucking house. Oh dear. It's gone. Right, we're safe. Right. So my point is, right, there is a lot of people on there. I'll call him out as well. Julian. Yeah, that guy's a disgrace. And I'll tell you exactly why that guy's there. Because he's got a few quid and he can open avenues and doors, mate. That's it. And I'm not going to turn this into an AFTV disfest. But that channel, yeah, has gone from being and set up to give the fans a voice, blah, 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 blah. And it very quickly realized, yeah, when certain things went down, yeah, that, we need to change and clean our act up and reinvent ourselves. And now they've gone completely the opposite way. There's nobody on there that is allowed to speak their opinion. And when they do, Yardman gets shut down. Well, if you want to do your own interview, do your own interview. It's his interview. Yeah, and that is the problem with English football media. Yeah, because as soon as somebody has a difference of opinion with the general consensus, instantly shut down, talked over, put in the bin. Yeah, suppression level 100. And for me, that's not right. Yeah, because the only reason most of these people are going down that road is because they want to get the ringside seats at a boxing because AFT, or they can get me on at Sky Sports. Yeah, they can open that door up. Or they can get me on Talk Sport. Come on, man. Or they can get me a job as the social media guy for them, who's related to TalkSport Moose, by the way. Yeah, who promotes all these kids online that are probably paid by the club to tweet. Yeah, and when you deep it and know it and have been there, seen it, done it, like not done it in terms of lied, because I say what I want. But when you've seen it all going down, it's not just that. There's other platforms that do the same. And it's very, very funny to watch, yeah? Because as soon as somebody does have a difference of opinion on them channels, instantly shut down by the person who owns the channel every single time. Because, oh my God, no, this could get us a sponsorship deal cancelled. The whole idea of setting up a channel and having a voice online is to give your honest opinion, not give an opinion of what people you think people want to hear, because that's the general consensus, and I'll just go with that. Yeah, if I really wanted to say what I want to say, mate, yeah, I could go on for about an hour about this. Yeah, but I'm not going to, because it ain't about that. Yeah, the point is, yeah, we are in a or the club is in a country where they very quickly cottoned on to what happened in lockdown. Yeah, and they thought, you know what, we can just get them in our back pocket because they're being super positive. Oh, we'll send Edu out to meet him a couple of times. Oh, well, we've already got a couple of puppet journos in the back pocket. Oh yeah, Charles Watts. Yeah, we've told everyone that Partey's not signing. And Fabrizio's tweeted he ain't signed, but we'll give you the exclusive because you've been a good boy. He's now wrote a book about Arteta that he's charging 20 quid for. Yeah? He sits in asking stupid, dumb questions about, oh, would you ever go out with Aubameyang for a coffee? He's asking that in a press conference. What? Then you have Ian Wright. Only he has scored more goals at Arsenal. Yeah? Only he has. Yeah? Legend of the football club. Yeah? Absolute scumbag. Wheels out merch every time. He'll be on the American tour. Never says what he thinks. Yeah, because he's paid to be an ambassador or whatever the crap is. And he gets indirect off of the back of that. Ray Parlour, another one. Martin Keown, another one. Sitting on TalkSport with Jim White the other day. And Jim White said, so you're saying failure is actually success? And Martin Keown said yes. Yeah, sorry, mate. Martin Keown, Ray Parlour and Ian Wright. Would they have ever said that to George Graham? He would have drop kicked him down the Hornsey Road. So do me a favour, and the manipulation, yeah, and the belittling and the finessing and the PR and the buzzwords, trust the process. That says a lot without saying anything. Tell me what the process is. Tell me the breakdown of the process. Yeah. Tell me what the phases are. Tell me when we went from phase 1 to 3. Was it when we won the FA Cup? Like, come on, man.
Look, listen, I think I personally feel like, again, on AFTV, as I know a lot of people there, and look, I know Dan Potts. I listened to a bit of his stuff. I listened to a lot of Turkish stuff as well. I like what Turkish has got to say. I feel like, obviously, Cecil, someone I met and someone I get on with. Now, Cecil, a lot of people, I've seen people accuse him of being a paid actor. He's not. He does body double work, and I think he was or is a professional.
They're all paid, and none of them give their true opinion.
But again, there's a difference. So there's two things I want to say, though. Someone being paid to do a job for AFTV, I assume AFTV did or still does make a lot of money based on the size of it. And I think if they want people to work for them full time, they should be paying them because of the size.
Of course, I don't disagree with that, but they should be allowed to give their own opinion without being shouted down.
And I think for me, like I've seen a lot of people say, are people really saying what they want to think and feel? I don't know whether or not that's because the club are paying them to do it, or whether or not people are just trying to come across a certain way. Now, I'm not calling any individual out, but I've had a few conversations with me and Igal were going at it the other day, and I'm like, Igal, like you were saying that it's illogical for people to want Arteta to be sacked, but at the same time, the things you've criticized Arteta for, and he blamed Arteta for the collapse this year, by the way. And I'm like, see what you said there about Arteta, his failings in this collapse. There are some gooners that believe that he's never going to get any better than this, therefore they want him sacked. So why is it illogical? Now, Igal isn't out there attacking people online and shutting them down and being nasty. And I think that's where my problem comes in. And I think this goes away from AFTV. I think it's just the wider population. Man United fans have this. Listen, I've had fans of multiple clubs come to me this year and say, I can't watch you anymore, Terry. You've been too nice about Arsenal. and it makes me laugh because in years gone by, I've been very nice about Chelsea. I've been very nice about Liverpool. In fact, go back to the 2017-18 season. I was very complimentary about what City were doing. This year was a little different because we changed our tact in terms of the way we made videos. We used to do 2 live streams a day, and there were more generic titles. Now we do a couple of pre-recorded videos and 1 live stream. So the pre-recorded videos are very specific about a particular point. So maybe it protrudes a little bit more. But in terms of the amount of time and energy we spent on other clubs, I remember doing a stream with Chris from Redmen TV and Alex from the DR Sports, both big Liverpool fans. And they were loving it because I was sitting there talking about how good their team were. And they were like, this is the best stream I've ever been on, Terry, because I love seeing a Man United fan say we're the best team in the world. So I know I've certainly bigged up other teams in the past, no matter what. But people are very much, and as Rom says, I didn't support Liverpool last year. I backed you to come back and beat Liverpool to the title.
You backed them for the title this year.
And you did. So I've done it to a lot of teams. The only reason that I think Arsenal stood out is because in the summer, and it's why I want to get onto it's kind of meanders nicely into my apology to Gary Neville that certain
Whilst
people
you're doing that, I'm going bathroom quickly.
they keep asking.
Make sure you do apologise. I want to hear the words. I'm sorry, Gary. I got it wrong, Gary.
I'll let you come back because I want you to hear it. I want you to hear what I've got to say. But as I was saying to Lee, like, I don't personally think anybody at Arsenal is a paid actor or not really an Arsenal fan or anything along those lines. I do think, and this happens everywhere, some people are like, oh, if I say X, I might lose popularity. I might lose followers on Twitter. I can't say the right thing. Why do I think people worry about it is because it definitely happens. I have people all the time that say I'm unsubscribing because I don't like how you criticize Klopp. I'm unsubscribing because I don't like what you said about Ten Hag today. I'm unsubscribing because you didn't praise Spurs enough. Spurs fans wanted my channel boycotted this earlier in the season because I predicted them coming 5th. So, but for me, I look beyond it and just think, you know what? I'm just going to stay true to myself and say what I believe. If I end up being wrong, so be it. I am man enough to take that on the chin and roll on. However, I'm not going to apologize for getting an opinion wrong. I'm not going to apologize for on a consistent basis. I'm not going to hold my hand up every show and go, by the way, before I start the show, I just want to admit that Arsenal didn't win the league and I thought they may do it and I got it wrong, because that's just crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm not gonna, and I'm just never gonna do that. It's as simple as that. But yes, look, I look at the AFTV stuff. I'm calling out opinions I hear, like Robbie's opinion that the Carabao Cup is meaningless to Arsenal is crazy. I saw what Ty was saying this week about De Zerbi's a nobody. The irony in that was the funniest bit about what Ty said when he's going on about De Zerbi's a nobody is that makes you losing to them even worse. I didn't think he realized that he made it even worse for them. Sorry?
He was right. What's he won? What's he done? He's going to look at his win percentage. He's going to have a look at his win percentages per club. What's he ever done? One season, it was 20. I think it was Sassuolo. I think it is. I think one season he had 27% win ratio.
I hear you.
Do me a favour, Tel. He's only got 50% of Brighton.
But you missed the point. The point is, say you think he's a nobody. You flexing that at him after he's beating you 3-0 makes your defeat look worse.
Yeah, it does. And listen, Ty, I like Ty. He's a nice person. I don't agree with anything he ever says, but I did agree with that. Yeah, he is a nobody. Yeah, the way he gets hyped up off of what? He's won only half of his games as Brighton manager, and look at the hype around him.
Do you know I was worried when you left, by the way, a minute ago, that Arsenal were going to concede another goal while you were gone?
You couldn't even write that. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, so I've gone to toilet, come back. Yeah, and I sat down, and it took me a couple of seconds to clock. Yeah, I was like, then I did it again, and I was like, come back, and the whole chat was just going mad. I was like, what? And Ola was just sat there. It was like a funeral. It was like, yeah. And I see the score. I was like, wow, we conceded again. Jesus Christ, mad.
I hear you on that. I want to say about the Gary Neville thing. I want to wait for you to come back when I go into that. Like a lot of people are saying to me, you've got to apologize to Gary Neville, and I'm like, for what? I was never nasty about him. I was never rude about him. I never called him nasty names, like the people asking me to apologize are doing to me. I just disagreed with a lot of his opinions about Arsenal this year. And as I said in so many of those videos, it's not about Arsenal per se. For me, it was lazy journalism. Not his overarching prediction they wouldn't win the league that he's been writing, but a lot of the other things he said that are now being forgotten. The reason that I called it out is because I don't want other journalists and other pundits to talk about Man United in that way. But I can't call it out against my club if I join in with it when it's everybody else, because I just don't like to behave like that as a person. So I'm going to be integral to myself and call it out. And the reason that I say I'm never going to say sorry to Gary Neville is, as I said, I've never abused him. I've got a lot of love and respect for the guy. As a pundit, as a legend of my club, I've got a lot of time for him. But the reason I'm never going to apologize is this. Gary Neville's opinion that Arsenal wouldn't win the league has come right. But why are we ignoring all the stuff he got wrong? So he said that Arsenal would drop into a top 4 race after the World Cup, and they didn't. He said that failing to get the top 4 is 5th place is the maximum Arteta can do. He doubts he can even make it into the top 4 this year. He also predicted, as recently as January, that Man United would catch this Arsenal team. So that's why I'm not going to say sorry to Gary Neville, because I was also calling out those points. It's like a lot of people are saying, I was right, Terry. Arsenal didn't win the league. I'm like, bro, you predicted Arsenal coming 6th. So you saying flexing that
So
they
did
could
I.
win the league? Yeah,
So did I.
and so did a lot of people. But the point I'm making is that when it comes to a prediction, yes, you're right or you're wrong about certain things, but let's not undo a lot of the challenge that Arsenal fans had towards Gary Neville this year. Is that they felt their underlying improvements were being completely disregarded, and they were, because there was no way they were dropping into a top 4 race. There was no way Man United were overtaking them. There was no way that just finishing 4th in the league or 5th was Arteta's ceiling. And it was that continual ignoring of their improvements that was frustrating people. Go back to my videos. I wasn't sitting there going, what a disgrace. How dare he think that City would win the league?
Arsenal hates exposed.
But that's my point. That was my point. For me, it was like you're ignoring what was actually being said at the time and just focusing on the end result prediction. We had a Liverpool fan last night that said, I'm going to give you an example. A Liverpool fan on that show last night said, I was right last season, Terry. Liverpool had no chance of winning the league. I was like, hang on. You were 20 minutes away from doing it. How did you have no chance of winning the league? You went, well, if you don't win something, then in the end, you had no chance of winning it. And my brain exploded because I was like, okay. And my example I gave to him was this. So can Man United win the FA Cup? He went, yes. So can City win the FA Cup? He said, yes. So they've both got a chance. Yes. But if City win it, would you say Man United had no chance? He went, well, no. So there you go then. Like the logic is broken.
It's funny because
for me, when it comes to Gary Neville, a lot of what he said has been right. They didn't quite have the mentality to get through. But so much of what he said about Arsenal this year was categorically wrong. And he himself admitted that. And this bit was left out of everybody, all the trending bits last night. He said it himself. And I agree with him. And it's a nice meander into what we're going to be talking about. Arsenal have still had overall a successful season. And he said it because no one, you predicted 6, you've come second. Your progression is massive. And it still needs to be looked at as a very good season for the club. And Gary Neville changed my mind about one thing in his show last night. I think we pay too much weight to changing expectations during seasons. In fact, we have to look back at what we expected, and you review the season at the end based on what everybody expected at the beginning. And Arsenal have done very, 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 very well. They have to work on the collapse, but that's why I'm not apologizing to Gary Neville. He's been right about some things and massively wrong about others, like, by the way, every single one of us. So, look, Gary Neville, I like what he said last night. I think he said he came up with some really, really good things about Arsenal. But you look at it the other way, don't you? You are like, sack the manager now, sack the manager today, complete failure, right? See, that's where we see it really differently. Like, talk to me.
The thing for me, Terry, right, is like I said about phases, projects, processes. I don't hear this at any other football club. I don't know what Bayern Munich's phase project or process is. I don't know what Real Madrid's is. I don't know what Juve's is. I don't know what Napoli's. And nobody peddles this crap out abroad. Yeah, and it comes back to what I said earlier. These clubs in England know that they've got massive global reach, more so than 90% or 95% of the clubs on the planet. In fact, probably 99%. Like we read out the teams earlier that have got a massive global reach. It's hardly any compared to Premier League, But they know that if they can get a spin doctor in it, I mean, you support Man United. You've got Neil Ashton as your PR guy. Just deep that. You have got a journalist as your PR representative for the football club, and you employed him as the PR guy. Like, what? Has nobody woke up to that at United yet? We've got David Ornstein and all these other journalists doing the work for the club. Hence why they get the little kickback of the Kroenke interview and this and that. It's the same people that get the same things every year because they're good little puppets. Yeah, but the problem is most people will follow. Yeah, plus not only that, there are people like me that will go against the grain. But when you go against the grain, you're instantly abused, shut down, like threats, toxic, negative. And it was the same a couple of years ago when we were sat in our houses.
Lies exposed.
Lies exposed. I see that. I see that. The comments were hilarious. I can't lie. Lies exposed. But a couple of years ago, we all sat in our houses, and people that didn't want to have that thing were told they were anti this, they're conspiracy theorists. And it's like a coping mechanism for a lot of these people that they want to be on board of something. And on the journey, roadmap, we're on a roadmap back to normal. What are you chatting about? Yeah, process, phase, projects. The fact and reality is, this guy for 3 full seasons, forget the half season, where he won stuff and he actually achieved an aim of winning a trophy with, by the way, only 6 of them players are still here. Yeah, and 4 of them don't play any games, really. It's only Saka and Xhaka that still play games, right? So he's gone and done 3 full seasons, had 21 new players and £500 million. And this is seen as success. Do me a favour. How many other big clubs that are supposedly elite level football clubs would he have lasted this long? After doing that much money, having everything he wanted, having every single bit of PR put around him, having every single player out that he wanted. Yeah, come on, mate. This isn't a care home. This isn't I don't know, a fashion parade for nice drip. Although the banner in that stadium needs to go, by the way. He's the best looking Spaniard we know. What's his looks got to do with anything? Yeah, there was another one, by the way, a brand new one at the weekend.
Jealous.
Keep the faith, trust the process. Sat right next to the 1971 Cup final trophy. Yeah, nobody was keeping the faith when they all bowled out in 70 minutes. The only thing they did wrong, they didn't boo. Yeah, and do you know what? I'd advise anybody right now, don't even bother turning up against Wolves on the last day of the season because they're going to be dropping new merch. Right here, be wheeled out again. Oh, don't worry, guys. We've got a 200 million war chest. Yeah, there's stories that super fans are peddling out. Yeah, about we're going to sign Rice and Caicedo in a double swoop. Get in the fucking bin, mate. Yeah, I see past all of this crap, Terry. Yeah, I see past the whole thing. We are not signing both of them players. If we sign either of them, it's a miracle. Yeah, and I'm adamant now that we will end up signing non-world class footballers. But we've been told that getting into the Champions League, because the super fan owner told us, he said it again today, getting in the Champions League, you can attract better players. That is the biggest lie and the biggest myth, yeah, I have heard in the last 10 years. Because 10 years ago it was, ain't anymore. You signed Pogba and Zlatan in the Europa League. We signed Aubameyang, who was one of the best strikers in Europe, in the Europa League. Chelsea signed Antonio Conte and a Premier League winner in Kante, who at the time was deemed the best midfielder in that position in the world. And they weren't even in Europe. They want the money. It's not about Champions League football. And the thing with me that winds me up the most, yeah, is that we binned all of the cups for this. Oh, bigger fish to fry, blessing in disguise. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, it's only the League Cup, says the same people that were lauding up Arteta winning a Community Shield as part of a double.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So you really feel like the Declan Rice stuff, Caicedo, Rafinha, you don't think you'll land any sort of player of that caliber?
No, and I'll tell you why. Right? Because we kept good relations with Brighton. How did that work out? Because the player we kept good relations over was man of the match of the weekend against us, playing right back, by the way. Yeah, right back. That's how good he is. And if we'd actually gone out and done what we should have done, instead of all of these fans, all these media outlets that are in the back pocket of the football club peddling Jorginho as a great signing, if we'd actually gone out and signed Caicedo, we might not have fell away. We might have actually won the league, Terry. We might have actually stayed in the Europa League. Yeah, we might have actually given it a go in the other. Well, I think the League Cup would have been done by then in the FA Cup because he knocked us out early in both. Yeah, but my point is if we had actually done what was required, instead of all these people hyping up mediocrity and losing as success, yeah, we might have actually signed Caicedo. Yeah, you go and sign Trossard, and we're like, boom, Trossard, what a player. Every time he started, we've won. He was player of the month for March. He ain't started a game since. It's all about. Like, it winds me up. And I'm telling you now, yeah, all the stories I'm seeing around Declan Rice, I see you put out today about 90 million, 300 grand a week. That's what we've apparently offered. I'll tell you now, I've got every single receipt, Terry, from David Ornstein, yeah, who is the club puppet, right? And he is the club puppet. I don't care. I'll say it. I know you won't. I'll say it because I don't care. Yeah, he is the club puppet. On the 25th of January, after we'd already had 2 fouled bids for Caicedo, he's peddling out that we can get Declan Rice for between 75 and 85 million and 200 grand a week. Yeah, and that's it, our number. And he's given his word to Arteta. He's rejected Real Madrid. I've done videos on this, tell us all there. Yeah, rejected Real Madrid and he's rejected Pep Guardiola's City. Cool. Well, you better sign him then. And we ain't signing him. Caicedo, bid for 80 million, rejected. Cool. Go and sign him this summer. We ain't signing him. We will end up with Zubamendi or some Brazilian from the 4th tier of Brazilian football or a Portuguese speaker from the Portuguese league. And round and around and around and around and around we go. And then everyone will gas up all of these players into oblivion and then they'll cry about Finn squad.
You know what's interesting, though, when I talk about success? It's predicated that you build the squad this summer with additional top-class players. So what I mean by that is, if you, and let's just throw the names out there of players you're linked to. If you were to sign Rafinha, Caicedo and Rice, and you added them to your team now, and you didn't have major exits, I believe that you have the ability to go again next year and be better, giving you another good chance of winning the league and going deeper into the cup competitions and maybe picking one up. The problem is for Arsenal, and where you can end up being right, if they don't bring in high caliber talent now, because yes, there's always a gem out there. Maybe, there might be another Martinelli in a different position, a young Brazilian or a Spaniard or an Australian guy, I don't care where he's from, that you can pick up for 8 million, 10 million, that's going to be a star in the future. But that should happen irrespective of signing Declan Rice, Rafinha, and whoever else it may end up being. And I think for me, obviously, we see things slightly differently. Although I often feel like our overarching view is,
we're pretty much on. I'm getting you there, Tel. I'm bringing your standards off the floor.
No, the standards are the same. You like to go by Concord. I'm quite up for like a nice little hike and travel.
Yeah, but I just want to get there. I've waited 19 years.
I do get you, bro. And when it's your club, I totally understand.
And the thing I want to say as well, right, is like the way our fans bang on about yeah, but we're not just going to go and spend money for the sake of it because that's what got us in this mess. Right, so you're telling me we couldn't add another 25 million to the bid for Caicedo then? Because that's not for the sake of it, is it? That's to win a title when we were top by 8 points. And they didn't want to do it. It winds me up. The thing is, there's certain players in this squad that ain't good enough. They ain't good enough. We all know that.
Who you know? I mean, El Nenny's and that we get, but
okay. No. I'll go for it real quick. El Nenny shouldn't be here. Disgrace, he got a new contract. Why are we? He's missed 35 games this season. Have a new contract out of sympathy. Get in the bin. It's not a care home for pensioners, mate. Yeah, get in the bin. Yeah, Rob Holding is only here because he's a yes man. He's a cheerleader. Shouldn't be here. Yeah, and Arteta played him after spending 24 million quid on a centre back. What's that all about? Yeah, then you've got Tomiyasu. Oh, but he's versatile. He pocketed Saka. Not good enough. I've said that from time. Oh, but you're so negative. He can play everywhere. I do not care. He is not good enough. Yeah, then you go to... did I mention? I said Fabio Vieira, didn't I? I said no, I haven't. Fabio Vieira. There's another one. Fabio Vieira gassed up into oblivion to be the next Bernardo Silva. Right? Okay. When's he going to be this? Oh, but he's young. Yeah, I don't care. Nobody's talking about Erling Haaland's age or Vinicius Junior's age, mate. Yeah, it's only a tool used, to lower standards at your football club when your football club failed to do anything, and it's almost like, oh, but they'll all get better together. And let me tell you right now, in 2009. We were in a Champions League semi-final against Man United. Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo. Almunia conceded a 40-yard free kick. That squad was younger than the squad we have now. And we was in a Champions League semi. Yeah, I've seen the leader of the fans, sitting again today saying, well, he's turned it into a farmers league. Nobody can compete with Pep until Pep leaves. Well, might as well shut up shop then, mate. Or how about stop sitting there chatting crap about every transfer window and every player we sign. Yeah, demand Caicedo instead of Jorginho, instead of hyping it into oblivion when we signed Jorginho. Oh, let's just be positive. We're top of the league. Well, we ain't anymore, are we? Yeah, and instead use these platforms to demand success. And it pees me off, Terry, because at the end of the day, we can compete with Man City. We've proven by being 8 points clear on the 8th of April going to Anfield. Yeah, we were 8 points clear. Fast forward to today, 6 weeks later, we're 4 behind. And
this is where I will agree with you. This notion that no one can compete with City will go out this summer and buy Caicedo and Declan Rice and Rafinha and another
Rafinha, but I get your point.
Okay, a player of that quality or better. I'm just throwing names out there, and another top class right back. Do that, and you've got a chance of winning the league next year. Because again. This notion that the one thing I disagreed with again on all those shows is that Arsenal might not find themselves next year.
They won't.
5 points, 4 points. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. No one knows how anybody's going to start.
Terry, because I've known this club inside out. I know exactly.
But the reason that you
time and time again, they will not sign the players required to compete on all fronts. We can't rest players in the Champions League.
Lee, that's what I was just about to say. the only way you do that is by improving the squad by the right levels and fans not accepting the mediocrity.
They won't.
I want
The
to do
fans
some
will accept it because
in
it'll be
time.
gassed up into oblivion by all the people that are in the back pocket on the payroll. Round and round we go.
Let me do these super chats, and I want to get a bit more onto Arteta. This one here says, Terry, if Pep picked United, how many leagues more? Pep might have won a league or two at United if he joined us, but he wouldn't won like he's won at City because we're nowhere near run as well as Manchester City. So I don't think he'd have had the same level of success at us as he has at Man City. Never celebrate anything other than first, lads, is what Anthony says here.
Facts.
Big up Lee, speaking facts. Smash the like button, people, is what Luke Skywalker says here. Pav says fan channels went from representing fans to milking fans for money and building their own profiles to be BTEC.
Best comment I've seen on YouTube for a long time, mate. Well said.
I hope you still love me, Pav.
Yeah, no, you're all right, Tel. Yeah, but it's the ones that represent an actual football club. You represent a top six. Yeah, the ones that represent football clubs. Yeah, we all know who they are. Disgrace, absolute disgrace. Because at the end of the day, there is millions of people that watch them things. Yeah, and they're peddling out not their opinion. They're peddling out what they think people would like to hear. And there is a lot of people that are sat there not happy with Arteta, not happy with Oli, not happy with whoever your manager is. You've got Ten Hag now, but they're scared to come out and say, I actually think this, because they see people like me, Kenny, Jez, who have been to 4,000 games between us, by the way, live. Yeah. They see people like Dan. They see people like Turkish. They see Northside. Yeah. Yardman, all getting shut down, abused left, right, and centre. So they're scared to come out and say it. There's loads of people that are scared to say what they want to say. Yeah. And all you get is, oh, you profit off the failure of the club. Well, here's a novel idea for you. Get better. Do what you told me you were going to do 19 years ago. Do what you told me. Ivan Gazidis told me in 2012 that you're competing with Bayern and Madrid. I am still waiting, mate. When you actually compete with them and have the standards off the deck and have my fear, yeah, then and only then I'll shut up. Until then, do not dare tell me how to support my football club. Yeah, because I've done more money than most of these people that are chatting shit to me. Yeah, watching my football club. I've supported it for longer than most of these people. Yeah, and I know what Sir Peter Illwood told us. I know what Ivan Gazidis told us. I ain't listening to these people. I'll call out all of their crap every single day until everyone's on board. And maybe I'll be 6 foot under by then. The top gooner might have got hold of me. I don't know.
I hear you, bro. This here says, Terry, are you on AFTV's payroll? No, I'm currently not. Is Rice News a PR spin after the Brighton shambles? Well, Lee's already addressed that. So
mate, the Rice News was a PR spin after the Caicedo. I've got all of the receipts, 24th, 25th of January, after we'd already bid and missed out on Caicedo. All the reports about Rice is coming in the summer. He's giving his word. Do me a favour.
This year says, let's go to this one here. Terry, even the Real Madrid fans didn't even celebrate winning the league in 2003 because they sacked Del Bosque the day after they won the league.
Day after,
I've lost 35 to 40 pounds and feel amazing. Well done, you, TK, doing that.
Neville here. They also sacked Capello twice in 2 different stints here, the day after winning the title. Both times they sacked him the day after. They sacked, I think it was Bernd Schuster, I think 2 days or 3 days after. He won them their first European trophy after 32 years of not winning it. They sacked him. You're not allowed to sack Arteta for 3 years of failure.
I get you. Lee, I hate Arsenal to the core, but you need to give Arteta another season. It would be idiotic to sack him. I'm sure Arsenal will sign at least Rice or another one, but do not agree, Arsenal fans. But I do agree, Arsenal fans live in delusional world. So you don't believe, based on the super chat, I wanted to bring it to you. So you don't think Arteta now deserves one more year and some further investment to try and win you something major? You'd get rid of him straight away now.
Terry, this guy apparently inherited a mess. We were joint 6th, 8 points off 4th when Emery got sacked 13 games into the season. Yeah, if you actually deep it, right, he won an FA Cup with a bang average squad, apparently, a mess of a squad, apparently, because that's what he was left. He was left a mess. But he won us the FA Cup. Yeah, and I celebrated that because I like trophies. But then since then, he's got rid of that whole squad apart from 6 of the players. Only 2 of them really get any game time, Xhaka and Saka. He spent 500 million quid He's had every single thing he's wanted. 21 new players. He's got 6 players out in January, rip up the contracts and all of that. Yeah. And here we are, still falling short. And the biggest thing that winds me up here, right, is this is seen as success. Yeah, only because he took us so far backwards that we finished 8th twice. Yeah. Now deep this. We've done £500 million in his 3 full seasons. And we've only got 10 points more than Unai Emery's only season with a toxic squad, apparently, that was left a mess to Arteta. We've only got 10 points more, Terry, than Unai Emery's only season. This is the first season he's ever finished above Unai Emery. But I'm supposed to say, oh, go on, have another go, mate. Well, do another 600 grand. 600 million, 500 million. No, get rid of him now. Go and get Ancelotti. Go and get Simeone. Go and get Luis Enrique. I don't like Nagelsmann. He's better than this manager. Yeah, go and get Conte. He's better than this manager. There's managers out there, Terry, that are available. Zidane sat out and doing nothing. He's won 3 in a row. Champions Leagues. Why is it that all you get when you say about another manager is, oh, but he's the reason he got us into a title. He was left a mess. Nobody could have done better. Well, Zidane's won 3 Champions Leagues in a row, mate. Yeah? Simeone's competed with the 2 richest clubs on the planet.
I hear you on that. So there's been some, I just want to say there's been some breaking news in the last few minutes from Fabrizio.
He's been sacked.
No. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Granit Xhaka will leave at the end of the season.
Yes, get in. We've finally got some positivity around here. Get in, mate. Get in the bin. Best news I've heard all day.
But know what I find really funny about that news is Jess the other day from like Arsenal fans online. She stated when the news about the midfielders you're looking to buy coming in, and she hasn't bought into the idea that you're definitely getting those players, but she said, if we do sign this quality of player, there's no way Xhaka stays. And the top Gooners, the way they came for her was sickening. And she's like, but he will be one of the guys that goes. This is a player that almost left.
No, but they're in love with it. They fancy him. They fancy him, Terry. I've seen tweets this week that I've been sent, yeah, of people naked and wet in a shower making up new Odegaard songs.
What?
And actually tweeting
it. No. What? No. What?
Terry, listen to the crap that I see. I get sent. I don't have Twitter. You know this, yeah? Right. Listen to this. Right. I'm going to find them. Yeah. Good. I'm glad he's going. 1/3 of a good season out of 7 ain't good enough, mate. But our fans fancy him and want redemption. I think they forget that he actually played in the Champions League in our 5-1 defeats against Bayern Munich. They've forgotten that because now we've qualified for Champions League. Oh, Granit Xhaka redemption.
I get that. I need to know about this guy talking.
Spin him.
I need to know about this naked guy in the shower talking about Odegaard. This is interesting.
Mate, he's the latest. He's the latest on the payroll at AFTV, by the way. He's so desperate to. He's a Hereford fan, but there we go. Calling me out, yeah, mate. Okay. Anyway, let me find this.
Rory talks football. I know who that guy is. I see him call you out one time. Mate,
he calls me out all the time. But apparently he's got no beef with me, which is why I'll just ruin him every day from now all through the summer. You're singing songs about Odegaard, making up songs in the shower. Cool. Why are you thinking of Odegaard when you're having a shower? Weird.
And you say he's a Hereford fan. What do you mean?
He did a TikTok video. Shall I play the TikTok video? Well, I'll send you it on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Oh,
He made a video about me. Yeah, because I can't remember what I said. I think I said sack Arteta or something in October or whatever I said. I can't remember. Something I said in October 29th. Yeah. He's blocked me on TikTok, by the way. Hilarious. Yeah. It's all on the archive on Insta, mate. Which is why I found the video. But he's apparently got no beef with me, but mentioned me when I'd never didn't know who he is, saying, oh, yes, this guy's whole MO is this, and this. And he's sat there slagging me off as a fan, an Arsenal fan, whilst wearing a Hereford FC shirt. Fuck off, you absolute drip. Yeah?
No, well, everyone knows I've got an issue with you should never wear any other football club's kit. Even if it's a nice one from Paris or something like that, I wouldn't personally.
Same. You know, apart from an Algeria shirt with Mahrez on the back, I'm allowed to wear that just to rattle people. I'm trying to find this. I'm going to find it. I will find it, mate.
All right, there we go. I'm going to do some more of these super chats while we're talking. First one says, Terry, how nice are you going to be about Newcastle if we get top 4? Are you scared yet? I think I did a video where I said how scary Newcastle are going to become about 2 years ago. Like, this isn't a new thing. I definitely said that, but yeah.
Well, here's a good one for you, Tel.
Go on.
Most handsome Arsenal player. Who do you think? That was a Twitter account.
Don't care.
Called Arsenal_mans. Yeah.
I'm going to give it.
looking Arsenal player, and they've put a picture of Ben White on there. What is their fetish with fancying our player? I don't get it. We're a football club, not a fashion parade. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Anthony here says 48 trophies. Terry Pep, that's elite credit for me. Yeah. Of course it's elite, 110%. Lee, stop saying BS. He spent 394 million, not 500 million.
No, he ain't. He spent more than that.
Debbie here.
Okay, either way, even if he has spent 400 mil, 394 mil. When is it acceptable? Let that guy come back here, because I love this narrative. When is it acceptable to actually demand we win stuff or he gets sacked? Because he's going into his fourth full season. It took him 3 full seasons to surpass Emery's total points and league position. But apparently Emery was the enemy of football. Turn it in. But Ancelotti couldn't get us in this position. Definitely couldn't, mate. Zidane couldn't. Simeone couldn't.
Debbie here says, people also say Man City cheated, but I'm saying that's okay. What are you doing to stop it? Didn't your team try to find FFP loopholes? At the end of the day, they are still champions. Well, if they cheated, they'll be cool. And I mean that in a nice possible way. I said yesterday we had an 8+ point lead on City twice. No excuses from my club. It's fair enough, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Raya here says, Lee Gunner, honestly, I'm so glad you have a fan channel. Like the amount of gooners that try and shut me down because I've been Arteta out for the last 2 years. Yeah, it's mad. Most fans need to raise their standards.
Sorry, three seasons ago, when he first started his first full season, I was declared a rat. Yeah, I was a rat. Anyone who wants Arteta out's a rat. Cool. Master Splinter on my screen. The following season, I'm in the mud because we were fourth for most of it and finished 5th. This season, I'm a flip-flop because we're actually in a title race, but then we bottled it. Next season, it'll be, you were right.
I hear
getting sacked next season.
I hear you. This is Lee, Man City have the best striker in the world, the best AM, the best DM, the best manager. How is anyone supposed to finish above them in the Premier?
Obviously, he watches AFTV. How is anyone supposed to finish above them? Beat West Ham, beat Southampton, beat Brighton. Pretty simple, mate. Yeah, don't draw at Anfield when you're 2-0 up. What are you chatting about?
This here says Arteta out each year has 3 or more game block where he drops points at the critical stage. Drop Trossard at his performing peak for his favourite players.
Facts.
Slow at making obvious subs and one tactic only. Bottler is what Open Play says here.
And this is the thing, Terry. We've won 1 out of our last 6 games. Yeah, how are we supposed to compete with City? We can't go. It's got the best striker. They got this. How about stop gassing up average footballers that sign for us every transfer window? How about demand more? Pull your standards off the deck. Yeah, pull them off the floor and demand the Caicedo. Demand world-class play. It pees me off.
I hear what you're saying there, mate. Is he leaving? Well, that's a shame, Lee. You do realise that Pierre won the winning medal with Barcelona and La Liga. Then, and La Liga. Then the Gunners win a Prem. Obviously, Aubameyang got his winners medal, didn't he? He played a game or so this year. Leng and Sweet says, if there's any Real Madrid fans in the chat and you rivals stay mad, 14 out of 14 at the Etihad 2023. City beat Madrid 3-1 at the Etihad is a fortress. Who do you see winning that game, Lee? Just out of interest.
Don Carlito.
Come on, Madrid are going to do it. You still think Madrid are going to do
it? They've Man City haven't lost a Champions League home game for 5 years. And the last time they lost it, Arteta was the manager. 2018 against Lyon. I think Pep's mum had passed away, yeah? And I think Arteta was the manager. Yeah.
Damn.
And they lost. And that was the last time they lost a home game in the Champions League.
Damn. I had to clean my eyes yesterday, Terry, after Jamie Carragher put Jack Grealish over Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes in the 99 versus City combined 11. Yeah, suggesting that Grealish is better than Ryan Giggs is outrageous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Especially 1999 Ryan Giggs, who, by the way, in that decade period was voted by UEFA as the greatest left-sided winger in the world for that entire decade. Like, Grealish isn't even been the greatest winger at City in the last decade. It's a crazy one for me.
My boy Mahrez is.
No, Mahrez has been better than him at City. Yeah, Lee Simeone has won the league only twice in an objectively less competitive league than the Premier League. Also,
This
he
narrative's
hasn't won the
amazing.
Champions League.
This narrative is so ridiculously far away from the actual truth. It is mad. Less competitive league. Let me tell you about that less competitive league, my friend. Yeah, in the Premier League, right? Every single one of the 20 teams gets 79 million TV money, standard. So, but Burnley have just been promoted. Sheffield United promoted, 79 million guaranteed. In Spain, yeah, don't work like that, mate. Yeah, Barcelona and Madrid get 85% of the money, and the other 18 teams battle it out for the 15%.
But by the way, I think he means the Liga is objectively less competitive.
Well, it's not really, is it?
Well, yeah, but if the top two teams get all the money,
yeah,
and there's less money spread around, that makes it less competitive.
No, it don't. How many teams have won the Premier League in the last 10 years? Man City have won 5 out of the last 6.
City,
Liverpool have won 1, so that's 7. 6, sorry.
City, Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, 4. Man United, if you go back to 2013, so 5 in 10 years.
So 4. 4, 5. Now go and see. Yeah. Okay, how many have won La Liga?
3.
Well, it's hardly that much less competitive.
Almost double.
Yeah, and now look at the money. Yeah, look at the money that Chelsea had. Yeah, look at the money Man United have got.
So you think so?
Yeah, now compare.
I don't want to debate it. I just want to ask you a straight out question. So you think it's less competitive in England because the money's more equally shared than it is in Spain, where two teams have the monopoly?
Mate, in Real Madrid and Barcelona, they get the most money. They're the two of the richest clubs on the planet. Yeah, the fact that Atletico Madrid are even in the conversation every year is mad, because they shouldn't be, Terry, by the money side of it, because their income is nowhere near the other two teams, right? When you look at Man City's income, Arsenal's income, Tottenham's income, Man United's income, Liverpool's income, they're all there or thereabouts the same, yeah? But the difference is them 3 clubs in Spain all try and have a go. The 6 I've just mentioned don't, yeah? So by rights, that league is more competitive because 3 of them try and go for a league title. In England, they don't.
Fair enough. Viewers, let us know what you think in the comments sections below. Remember, I have a promise. I'm not going to fight you on everything you say.
Listen, that's why I like coming on this channel, mate. I'm allowed to say what I want.
This here says, we signed Bruno Guimaraes as a 20th place Premier League side in January. Also signed Trippier, Isak, Botman, all of them with no Champions League football. It's doable without Champions League football. The project has got to be attractive.
Bruno Guimaraes rejected Arsenal to go to Newcastle. Tells you all you need to know.
Neto here says, I still back Mikel, but next season the limelight is on him and the squad. We cannot accept being losers. We are progressing, but still need to win trophies.
We're not progressing. We've gone back to the level we were 7 years ago. When we finished second to Leicester.
Have you progressed under Arteta to a better level?
No, he's took us backwards. So now it looks like progress. Terry, stop 1 second, mate. Yeah. Right?
How?
He took us.
Second is backwards.
What have we won? 1 FA Cup out of 14 possible trophies he could have won.
So you think you're a worse team now than 3 seasons ago?
I wouldn't say we're a worse team to watch. We're definitely better to watch. Yeah, but we've still got the same culture at the club of loser when it matters. Yeah, players disappear when it matters, but apparently he's changed the culture. We're better to watch now. Yeah, and this season, and it's only this season that he's been here, it has been good to watch at times. But ultimately, he's come up short. Why? Because he ain't good enough, mate. Go and get someone that is good enough. And this is where I differ with most people. I understand that they're paid disposable employees. We've got people out here saying, get rid of Smith Rowe this summer. These same people were knocking one out that he's got Bergkamp's number. Like, do me a favour. Well, why do you want him gone? Why don't you give him another go? Why is he not allowed another go? Because Arteta's allowed another go. So why is Smith Rowe not allowed another go? They don't. And the mad thing is, soon as one massive account, yeah, on Twitter, YouTube, wherever it may be, says one certain phrase, yeah. So I've seen this thing peddled out recently. Oh, only 4 teams have, and it was Goldbridge that said this, ironically, who don't have nothing to do with Man United because he's a Forest fan, yeah, allegedly. Yeah, I've actually been to Forest and United more times than him. Mad, isn't it? But he said this, only 4 teams have ever got more than 95 points in the Premier League. And to get 95 points, that'll win you the title. And rah. Yeah, worry about finessing 14-year-olds for donations, mate. And I'll look after Arsenal. Don't worry about me, mate. Yeah, now, because he's got a massive traction everywhere, now every time I mention what I'm mentioning, but only 4 teams have ever got more than 95. Who cares? We were top of the league on the 8th of April by 8 points. It's now the 16th of May, and we're 4 behind. They got a game in hand. Sack him.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I get your point.
Yeah, there we go. Look at the names in that chat. Zidane, Mancini, Nagelsmann, Simeone, Ancelotti you could put on there. Conte you could put on there. Yeah, everyone's hyping up to Zerbi. You could put him on there if you want.
Let's go through some more of these comments here. Lee, could top gooners admit that Arsenal had the funds to buy Haaland?
Oh, good. Yeah, but they won't because we do it the classy way. Yeah, we're not getting sanctioned. Like, do me a favour. This club's got no class, mate. It left its class at Highbury.
Will here says, big up, guys. Lee, if City don't win the treble, win the treble is the season a failure because the aim is to win all the trophies and only win the Premier League, and they may only win the Premier League and FA Cup.
Okay, so on that basis, then you need to sack Arteta, right? Because if you're saying that Man City have to win the treble, then surely that is the standards then. Yeah, and this is where you people wind me up. Yeah, because you're going at the best manager on the planet who has a track record of how many trophies he won at Man City since he's been there. And now because he's not going to win all of the trophies, you're saying he may not win all 3. You think that I should want him? Hold on. No. Mate, seriously, you're playing mental gymnastics, mate. Honestly, mental gymnastics. And the mad thing about it is, you soft little girls in the chat, you soft little boys or whatever, in the chat that haven't ever seen Arsenal win anything, that have literally got no social skills whatsoever, have never probably been to any football matches in your life because you're scared to leave your house. Like, I just find you all hilarious. You come here every Tuesday to watch me and then cry in the chat for 2 hours or an hour and a half. It's mad. It's hilarious. I'm live with rants after this. Come and cry some more. I find it hilarious. The aim of elite sport is not to finish 4th. It's not to not win anything. Yeah, why ask a footballer why he got into football? Oh, because an idol of his probably won something or he wanted to win something. Like, it is mad. It is actually hilarious how soft English supported teams fans are. Can you imagine? Could you imagine? Yeah, like a team bus getting chased down the motorway by 3 cars. That's what happened in Italy the other day to a team that got relegated. Yeah, their ultras chased the team bus down the motorway. Oh, how toxic. Like AC Milan ultras, kicking off after they lost to Spezia the other day. Yeah, can you imagine Arsenal kicking off after our ultras? Yeah, we ain't got any. Our ultras are all PR puppets for the club. Can you imagine our players and our manager walking to the North Bank and standing there going, yes, okay, we're sorry. Genuinely, we're really. Giroud's face was like white as a ghost. Like, it's like he'd seen a ghost. He was like, yeah. The manager was like, yeah. Can you imagine this culture in England? You're never going to see it, Terry. It's embarrassing how soft, and how weak-minded some people are, The fact is, the aim is to win. If you haven't won, you've lost. And if you've lost for 3 years in a row, and out of them 3 years, you've had 11 trophy opportunities, because he took us out of Europe one year. There's 4 every year. He took us out of Europe one year, so there's 11 trophies he could have won us. He's won none, and everyone's lauding it up as success because we finished second. It's finished. Football's finished, mate.
We have a core of we have core of a good side, but need top quality. Arteta is okay for now, but KSC has to prove they are decent now. Prove us wrong, Stan and Josh.
I agree with that to a certain degree, but they've backed him with over 394 million, whatever you want to round it down to. Have you got the pounds and the pence and all of that? Like, do you know what I mean? But they've backed him more than any other manager they've backed and had. They didn't back Emery like that. They didn't back Arsene Wenger like that. We've spent 1 billion quid, Terry. You sold me the figures last week. 1 billion since Leicester won the league title. 1 billion.
You have.
And I'm not allowed to demand titles and trophies. When can I? How many more years? How many more how many more players? How much more money before I'm allowed to come out and say, demand it now, and it be seen as fine? It won't ever happen because the PR stinks and these people are done.
I hear you. Listen. I think they definitely have to step up this summer. There's no doubt. Ray here, long time no see. Ray, he says, I'm likely gonna because he is like me. He talks the truth. Arsenal should have never bottled it. City were buried this season. I would want him out as well. C here says, good luck getting Simeone. He earns 576,000 per week. He's the highest paid manager in Spain.
Yeah, he's the highest paid manager on the planet, 40 million a year. And I'll tell you what, that 40 million is only 6 million more than we paid for Fabio Vieira, who can't get a game because he's shit.
I get where you're coming from, Lee. We should have high standards. Progress happens in stages. Owners, in my opinion, have to prove they have got the minerals. I think very similar to what the other super chat said.
If we want minerals, mate, we better go and get Mason Mount.
I used to have problems with Lee Gunner, but he's right. Unless we as Arsenal fans hold the club accountable, we will always have mediocrity and weak-minded players. We can that can get over.
That is the best. That is a great comment, Terry. Yeah, because do you know what? Yeah, Lewis from City Extra said this to me the other day when I was on with Saeed and him. Yeah, he said Arsenal fans saying they haven't bottled it when they have bottled it. It's just sweeping it under the carpet. The club know that's cool now. We bottled top four. We bottled the title. Oh, it's just fine. We haven't bottled it, but accept you've bottled it. Understand why you've bottled it and repair it and go. Instead, they just want to make up excuses and we can't compete with City. It's ridiculous.
Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Sophie Rose here says the Sky Ramsdale and Stones interview showed the difference in mentality between Arsenal and City 2 minutes into it. I'll go and take a look. I'll go and take a look. Hassan here says, unpopular opinion, Saka is the most overhyped player in a while. I'm not saying he's not good, but the way they talk about him, the man has 13 goals and 11 assists. That is a horrible season for Salah.
Well, Salah's about 9 years older, mate. But not only that, that shouldn't be an excuse because Vinny Jr.'s smashing it and he's younger than Saka, I think. But for me, he's not the overhyped player. Martin Odegaard's the most overhyped at our club. Yeah, but our fans, again, yeah, because he put out the PR, oh, I sing North London forever, which should never be our song, by the way. Yeah, bring back James, sit down. Yeah, that's a proper Arsenal song, mate, not this crap. Yeah, but he sings it under his breath and he gets goosebumps when he's walking out leading the team. Shut up, mate. Yeah, I stayed through all of this. Yeah, the club probably can't stand my channel, but they watch it every day. Yeah, like I couldn't care less. I'm never giving up, mate, until this club does what it smashed that stadium down for. We've got Martin Keown crying about Martin Tyler, by the way, and Gary Neville. What's that all about? Yeah, same geezer who's been sitting there telling us failure's success. Anyway.
No, I listen. I think for me, like saying Saka's overhyped, I don't.
He is, but he's not.
He faded. He faded. Yeah, I mean, he faded in the last handful of games. But I put this more on the manager continuing to play him. He should have been taken out of that starting
back
lineup.
To the manager, tell. Played holding.
Taken out of that starting lineup. He really should have been.
Saka fell away for 8 games last season. He's done it again this season in the last 8 games. Maybe we needed a right winger. Didn't I tell everyone this in the summer? Oh, but I was negative. Just enjoy it. We signed Jesus.
Sideboard Ninja here said the fan base is way softer than a softball league, is what said here. Debbie says La Liga is more of a challenge than the Prem. Let's see if Haaland can score in La Liga. By the way, Haaland will definitely score in La Liga or score anywhere. Lee, what are your 3 things Arsenal have to do this summer?
Sack the fan base, sack the manager, and sack the hierarchy. There you go. Happy days. Yeah. Start all over again. Yeah. Go and get a Qatari owner. Go and get a Saudi or a Sheikh. Yeah. Go and get a proper manager. Yeah. And then we might actually start getting some proper fans that actually understand the aim of elite sport is not to finish with mediocrity every season with no trophy. How about that? I'll sack the journalists as well. There's 4.
Neto here says we need to be harsh. Partey can't be our main DM next year. We need a big boy striker. White is rotational at best, and most of all, Mikel must rotate.
Best DM in the league, mate. He's better than Casemiro, apparently. Not allowed to knock him, mate. Yeah, not allowed to knock him.
We would have to have got 95 points to win this year. We're away. We're ahead of schedule, but on our way. Calm down.
I'll tell you, which is Goldbridge. I told you this 10 minutes ago. Yeah, we could have got 95 points if we'd beaten West Ham, Liverpool when we were 2-0 up in both, beaten Brighton at home. Yeah, and beating Southampton, mate.
I think what people are not factoring in as well. You beat Liverpool, you beat West Ham, you beat Southampton, games you should have won. the pressure on City would have been different. Maybe they dropped some points. Maybe
if we'd signed Caicedo in January, we would have got the wins, Terry. Who knows? But they were knocking one out for Jorginho.
And this is the thing that saying they need to get 95. That's hindsight. That's after the fact. You know,
it's a coping mechanism because it don't matter. We're ahead of schedule. We're in phase 3. That nobody knows when phase 4 starts. Nobody knows how we got to phase 3. It's just all PR, and these kids fall for it every time, mate. It's mad. Just enjoy the ride, Terry. Just enjoy it.
Well, what's this here?
There's no failure in sports. Giannis told us, mate. No failure in sports.
Who?
Some basketball player.
Oh, that basketball dude.
Yeah. And guess what? No failure in sports, yeah? They lost to I don't even watch basketball, but apparently they lost to a team they shouldn't have lost in the playoffs or something. No failure in sports, but the manager got sacked a week later. Well, why did they sack him? Giannis told him there's no failure. Why did they sack him?
Based on
I've got to go, man.
Yeah, I absolutely hear you. Got one last super chat here that says, I wasn't really familiar with Lee, but he's a real one still. I'm a Man United fan, but just sub to Lee. Man speaks facts about the culture.
We only do that, man. We only deal with uncomfortable conversations that rattle people because they're too soft to debate because they've spent 2 years sat in their house not socializing and have no social skills. It's not like when we were growing up, we could go over to the local park with a couple of our pals, put jumpers down for goalposts and play a 2-on-2. And then there'd be 4 lads over there playing 2-on-2. And we go, oh, do you want a game? Yeah. This lot are now all talking about which player they fancy and like who's the best looking player at the club and making up songs in showers. They ain't got no mates. Their mates are online. It's mad. But I'm here for it, mate, because I'll continue to rattle all of them.
These messages today, go out and get some friends.
Exactly. Ooh, football friends.
Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, a massive thank you to all of you. Please hit the like button before you leave. Back tonight after Inter versus AC Milan. Very excited about that game tonight. Make sure you're subscribing. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again